Hi there, welcome back to Calm Pantry. Please excuse any background noises. I've got a lot of things going on here. I have the dishwasher running, the laundry machine running, canner running. There is noise. But I wanted to get this video, this first update of the Every Bit Counts Challenge for 2025. I'm very excited about this year. If you are not familiar with the Every Bit Counts Challenge, it's an open collaboration put on by Jessica over at Rivers Homestead. I will link that below, her channel, if you are interested in following along with hers. A lot of people do it, and I will be posting updates all throughout August, 4 or 5 times throughout August, with things that I have done. And the point of this challenge is to preserve something, even if it's a little bit, every single day in August. And I believe some people do this on Instagram too. We don't have YouTube channels, but put it on Instagram. If you just search the hashtag and either place, YouTube or Instagram, Every Bit Counts Challenge, you will find videos and people updating what they have preserved for the month of August. So if you're really into food preservation, binging on food preservation videos, search that hashtag, you'll find more. I also have a food preservation playlist with all of my previous Every Bit Counts Challenge videos. And this is my 3rd year participating. It's only my 3rd year. She's been doing it longer than that. But before, I remember thinking, but I'm preserving kind of all the time, and the stress of doing something every day kind of freaks me out. I just wasn't sure I was up for it. And 2 years ago, I tried it for the first time. I was like, I'm just going to do it and whatever. I tried it for the first time, and I really enjoyed the challenge. Even though there were some days I was like, I have to get something preserved today. What am I going to do? And it's stressful. They're busy days. August is back to school time for us. There's just a lot of stuff going on. But I learned, I fell in love with it because I learned not only did I actually, yes, preserve more in August, even though I'm already preserving, the challenge of doing it every day just made me actually just get more done. And it also I didn't realize I needed this. It gave me a little permission to do a little bit, so a little bit was okay. So on a busy day, if I just throw something in the dehydrator, clean some herbs, toss them in the dehydrator, we're done, then that was fine. And that helped. And I also learned that I get more done of projects I've been putting off. And I will get to one of those in a minute, but I want to get started on what I've done for the first 6 days of August. I started, again, this is a busy time. We've been doing back to school shopping. We've had a college trip. We're busy. But I did the quick thing. I dehydrated 3 trays of basil, and it gave me about a cup of dried basil to use in my winter cooking. Basil is probably my most prolific herb in the garden. I will freeze dry some, I will dehydrate some, I eat a lot fresh, and I have not bought store-bought basil in about 8 years. It's an easy one to grow, an easy one to dry, an easy one to preserve. So I will have way more than this by the end. But that was August 1st, about a cup of dried basil. And see, sometimes when you're food preserving, you get this little I need a lot of it. I need a whole dehydrator full to do. But to give myself permission, just do the 3 trays of the basil I had and not try to search for other herbs and other things and run the dehydrator with that. It gave me more. So I will add to this, but I have some done. Here, August 2nd, I did some dry beans. I did 5 pints of dry beans. This week, I only used my digital pressure canner, which only fits 5 pints. And I did that because it's a little bit easier and faster for me to use, and it's been a busy week. And so I didn't want to get out my big All-American canner, because this is all pressure can stuff, and take all the time to get that. It's big, it's heavy, it takes a lot longer to get up to pressure, vented, up to all the stuff. So I was using my digital pressure canner. That's why I have a lot of things in 5s right here. And I can link for you the one I use below. But I did kidney beans on this day specifically because I'm out of canned kidney beans, and I have dry beans that are starting to get old. And dry beans, people think that you can just buy them like rice and store them forever, and you really can't. They get hard and that hardness won't cook out no matter how long you cook them. And so what I do is I keep buying the dry beans when they're on sale, and then if they start to get old and I haven't used them or canned them yet, then I will turn them into canned beans so that they at least are shelf stable and going to last several more years. So 5 pints of kidney beans. And then the next day, August 3rd, I have my list here because last year what I discovered, not only does it help me remember each day, because I will forget already within the week, but I also kept track last year of how much I did of each one, and at the end of the month, it was super fun to see how much I had gotten done. So we'll do that in the last video this month too. But the August 3rd, I did vegetable broth, and it was one of those days where I didn't really have anything fresh from the garden to do, but I had vegetables in my freezer, And this is one of those things where doing the Every Bit Counts challenge makes me get some projects done. Here in my freezer, I have a bag of vegetable trimmings. I think I still have some. Like this. I cut some out. There's some celery, some onions, some carrot trimmings there. I've got some trimmings where I trimmed off little bits of beef or chicken, like I'm trimming off the fat and some meats attached to it in there as well. And I always throw them in there so that someday I can make broth out of them. And then every time I open the freezer, I'm like, oh, I need to do that, and then I don't get to it, and in August I do. So that's what, with this one, I'm out of vegetable broth, I'm out of beef broth, so I'll probably do the beef one next. But I did the 5 pints of vegetable broth. When I cooked down, because I did a full instant pot, it actually made 7 pints. But like I said, I can only fit 5 in my pressure canner, and so I put the other 2 in the fridge, and then I used them the next day. I made something with rice this week, and I cooked the rice. It was like an Asian bowl, like a sweet and sour chicken bowl, and I cooked the rice with vegetable broth, and then I think I used some of that broth in the actual cooking of the chicken and vegetables for the sweet and sour. Oh, it's for the sweet and sour sauce. I use broth in that too. Normally I use chicken broth. I just use the vegetable broth. So I did make 7 pints, but I only preserved 5 pints. The next day, this was, these are cherries that I froze. I talked about these on my last Azure haul. I can link that video for you. And I had bought a 4-pound package of organic cherries. They were a super good deal. They were cheaper than the sale price of non-organic cherries in my store. A lot cheaper. But I knew we weren't going to eat 4 pounds that quickly. And so what I did was we fresh ate until they were starting to look kind of iffy. And then what I did was I went through and pitted them all. You guys, I only have like a single cherry pitter thing, which is fine for a single project like this, but I have cherry trees, they're babies, and in like 2 more years when they make fruit, I think I'm gonna have to get one of those that does like 12 or 20 at a time, because it did take me a while. But I pitted all the rest of the cherries, washed them off, pitted them, and then I put them in these little bags that we can use for smoothies during the winter. Cherries and strawberries are our favorite fruit to go in our smoothies, and so it made 5 of these little sandwich bags. I didn't do the what's it called, the machine that vacuum seals. I didn't do that for these. I tend to think they're fine with just putting them and squeezing out the air, and then they're double bagged as well in the sandwich bags and then in here. So there's 5 of those bags that are smoothie size servings in this gallon bag here. Okay, so 4th, August 5th. So these are refrigerator pickles, and I've got a 1.5 pints. I have always previously done canned pickles, shelf stable, and I was like, why would you want to do refrigerator pickles? They take up so much room in your fridge, and they're not gonna, you don't want all that stuff. Like, I do dozens and dozens of jars of pickles, right? I don't have the fridge space for that. But last year, for some reason, something came up and I decided to try some fridge pickles. And I made a couple recipes. We found a favorite that we absolutely loved. I can link that recipe where I got it, the website for it below. And, but one of the things I discovered, besides the fact that this one's really good, if you're not into canning, don't have a canner, fridge pickles, okay? But fridge pickles are really an easy way to make pickles when you don't have the big bushel of cucumbers out in the garden yet. Mine are full of flowers. I will have someday soon where I need to make a big canner load of pickles for the shelf, and I'll have like sweet relish that I'll make, stuff like that. But for now, I have a few pickling cucumbers coming off at a time, and they're pickling cucumbers, not my favorite to eat fresh. So with fridge pickles, what you can do though is it's a lot easier to just do 1 or 2 jars. This is what I had cucumbers for, 1 pint and 1/2 pint. And I have the dill growing outside. I've already harvested my garlic. It's just, I make like a half recipe of the brine, and you're just pouring the brine over this and sticking it in the fridge. So it's easy to make a smaller recipe. You're not getting out the canner. I'm not going through the whole canning process for 2 jars, taking the time or the energy or the water or the whatever for that. And so that has become my favorite thing to do at the beginning and the end of the big cucumber season, is to do the fridge pickles, because when they are first starting and I don't have a ton, or they're tapering off and I don't have a ton, it's a great way to get those in. And I made 1 pint at the end of July, and that one was gone the next day when they were ready. They need to sit for a day to 2 days, and my daughter ate it already She was like, are they ready? Okay, so day 6 of August Every Bit Counts Challenge. What I did was some chicken. This is not from my garden, obviously. I did 5 pints of ugly chicken. I am completely out. I had used the last of ours the week before for a taco night when I didn't have time to like thaw and cook the chicken from the freezer. And the canned chicken, home canned chicken does not taste anything like canned chicken in the store. It's really good. It's so easy to make. I do raw pack canning. I know it's called like ugly chicken. I think I have done a video on this before and I can link it for you below. Ugly chicken, I think, is the name Lisa Sutton gave it and that everybody kind of caught on with because it doesn't look that appetizing, but it is delicious and it's so easy to use. It's become a staple of our meals, especially fast meals. It cooks itself in the jar while it's canning. And so you have cooked, it's like shelf-stable rotisserie chicken. You've got cooked chicken that you can throw. My daughter likes chicken salad out of this. I make chicken tacos out of this. I can throw it in a chicken rice casserole. Anything you need cooked chicken for, you can use this. And so I go through it pretty quick. I still have beef downstairs and a little bit of pork. I probably won't do pork again. It's not our favorite. But I was completely out of chicken, and I was at the store getting some other things, and they had chicken on sale. And so I bought 1 package. I need to do more, obviously, and I will. But that was, I knew that 1 package would be a canner full because I've done the chicken a lot. So that's what we have for the first almost week of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. We've got some basil, some kidney beans, some vegetable broth, some frozen cherries, some pickled cucumbers, and some canned chicken. Mostly canning this week, but well, actually it's like half and half. But for the Every Bit Counts Challenge, if you want to participate, it is not too late. You can do everything for the rest of August. And you don't have to can. You don't have to be a canner. You can dehydrate. You can freeze dry. You can freeze. You can ferment. All of the ways of preserving food are fair game during the Every Bit Counts Challenge. So that's what we have for this week. If you are participating in this, let me know in the comments what you have preserved so far in August because I love to hear what everybody else does. Every now and then I get a new idea. I will be doing other types as we go through the summer besides canning, a little bit more freezing, I don't know if I have any. My fermentation is usually the fall, spring. Definitely dehydrating. I will do some freeze drying as soon as I get my chickens out of the garage. So there will be more. I hope you join me about once a weekish. I'll post a video updating of the last several days and how we did things. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you spending your precious time with me, and I hope to see you on the next video.